Oh my goodness. It's that time again. We're back. It's Gone Solo Troika. I'm so excited. Hey y'all, thanks for all the comments that have been coming in. I mean, you know, there's on Discord and Reddit, kind of spread all over the place, but it really is, it just warms my heart. So thank you all so much. And a special shout out to Realms of Solo for their nice shout out. Go check out their stuff. There's a link in the description. Still solo role playing, slightly different format. It's written, it's narrative, and there's some cool AA art on there too. So thanks for that shout out. Go check out them. So that's where we're at. So here we are, last episode, still in the past. Goldbone and Dragogg were on trial for attempted assassination of the Wizard King of Diaprise, Grinshout. They brought in their lawyer, Tenote, who was the only person who in town, was able to delay their trial and execution. In the meantime, while going through the dwarf quarter of Diaprise, they ran into a baby Pointage who was happy and loved to create just like all the other dwarves. So that's an interesting piece that we got from the past. Interesting little piece of information that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. But then on the day of the trial, Tenote is depressed, can't get out of bed, can't represent them. They get executed by being flung by catapult. And then it turns out, it was all a ghost vision, ghost dream, ghosts from the past, telling their story through ghost visions. And so the ghosts of Diaprise want our heroes to take revenge on Grinshout, who they say is still living, after all these years. So they did get their mushrooms, they're growing mushrooms, but they had a whole other side quest pop up, and now this request for revenge. And then it turns out on their way back, they did run into some remnants of the robots, and mathematically they could not have run without wizardry. So there's some other sorcerer's component, and we don't know who sent the robots. There's just bad wizards all over the place. That's just how it goes. That's just what we're doing. So we're jumping back in. We're back in our present timeline. We've got Dragogg, we got Goldbone. What are they going to do? They still got to find this balloon beast egg. Do they even care about that? We'll see. Let's go. So it occurs to me that, or something that I was thinking about is, now that we know that Dragogg is looking for the Sphere of the Gods, and he knew that there was this lost library in Diaprise, and they ran into a library on their way out, right? They were going to this library. It was way out in the middle of nowhere, right? And we fought that night, and they spent the night in the library. It was real weird. I wonder if, as they head back, they stop by the library. They're going to pass by the library and they're going to check in with the librarian. But I will roll for an event to see if anything comes to bear on my idea. A book enemy? Oh, no. I don't want to fight an enemy. Ooh, 11. All right, what is that? Alzabo. Uh-oh. Things are getting weird. Oh, no. A red-furred ghoul bear, which at its shoulder stands as tall as a horse, would be a frightful creature for no other reason than its immediate physical impression. The Alzabo can produce, for it is not truly mimicking, rather recalling, the exact sound of any creature it has ever eaten. Crying out in the night, it draws its prey from safety, typically by imitating a recently eaten family member and calling to its children or parents. Even if the devoured is human, and those listening know that it's not truly them, the sound of a daughter you know to be dead tapping at your cottage door and begging to be let in from the cold is more than most can bear. Oh my goodness. Why do I even roll? What are we even doing? All right, what's it mean? What's it doing right now? It's evasive. Thank goodness. Has it eaten the librarian? Yes, but something weird has happened. Okay, we're just going to roll my idea into this thing. They are stopping by the library, and it's late. because how long it's taken them to get back from Diaprise, and they're heading back to Troika, right? And they want to stop because they know they can stop and rest here. And they come to the library, and there's like the door is like torn down, and like inside like papers are scattered everywhere, and the shelves knocked over, and there's books scattered, and they're like, whoa, something has happened here. Okay. And they hear some rumbling, kind of rustling in the back, right? And so, Dragogg, readies his astrolabe, and Goldbone gets her crossbow ready. And they hear the librarian calling. Remember that, what was it? Bemused librarian. She says, "Oh, sorry, the library is closed. You'll have to you'll have to come back another time." Dragogg says, "Are you all right? It appears that there's been a disturbance. Are you in need of any assistance?" And there's rumbling and shuffling and things getting knocked over, and the librarian calls out and says, "No, we're all fine here. Oh, how did you enjoy the ruins? How were those ruins? Good." Dragogg steps closer, and kind of, gets the lantern and lights it, and is pointing and looking, and sees this, bear beast, kind of rumbling, and recognizes, knows what this is. This is an Alzabo. But something different has happened. Something strange has happened. And Dragogg is like, "Oh no, and he says to Goldbone, that is not the librarian that we were hearing. That is an Alzabo. It is mimicking her voice, and I don't know why it's telling us to go away instead of like luring us in. It's being very evasive, but we need to get out of here." And the librarian says, "Oh no, it is me. I have had a protective spell cast on me. So when the Alzabo ate me, I retained my intelligence, and actually my intelligence has taken over this hideous beast. But I am just too embarrassed, and it's very hard to shelve books with these giant furry claws. I'm just deeply embarrassed. So if you could just go away, that would be great." And Dragogg says, "Are you sure there isn't anything that you need? Can we get some help for you?" And the librarian, "No, I'll take care of it. Don't worry." But anyway, how were the ruins?" she asks, sort of knowingly. And Dragogg says, "Great. What do you know? What happens at the ruins?" And the librarian's like, "Oh, nothing. Anything interesting? Any interesting dreams or anything?" And Dragogg says, Just tell us. And the librarian says, Fine. So I am a descendant of one of the few survivors of Diaprise, and I keep the lost library hidden away in a locked vault here. It is not lost, it survives, but is kept secret. And only until someone can avenge against Grinshout will I open it to them and let them peruse its contents. And Dragogg says, "Oh." Dragogg perks up at this, because if you remember, I'm not sure why I played this way last night, but here's where we're at. Dragogg was sort of like on the fence about this whole ghost revenge thing. And Dragogg, "Oh, really? You're saying whoever can avenge the people of Diaprise against Grinshout will have access to the lost library of Diaprise, and perhaps information pertaining to the spheres of the gods." And the librarian says, Yes, that is it. But I have no descendants. I am a lonely librarian. And so when I perish, so goes the secrets to the library. So could be that the library is lost forever after me. All right. So here we go. So anyway, that's what I was thinking. I just saw these dots and wanted to connect them and make Dragogg's motivation stronger. So now this changes things. So before we get any further, I neglected to give this character a name. Seems like they're going to be more important. So I put them on the NPC list, rolled up a name for them. It is Browdana the Alzabrarian, because they are an Alzabo librarian. They don't sleep in the library. It doesn't seem safe, so they sort of camp at a safe distance. There's rumblings and crashings throughout the night. And Goldbone sensed this change. She felt very strongly that and connected to the citizens of Diaprise and really wants to help them, and now can maybe motivate Dragogg to go along with this plan, kind of get him on the side. And so Goldbone says, well, so what do you think? You think maybe we should go find this Grinshout? Hunt on this wizard? And Dragogg says, well, as I said, I am no wizard hunter. We will probably need help. It is no easy task to hunt down and defeat a wizard. The most dangerous prey, as they say. So we are definitely going to need help. And at this point, I want to retcon something, because I don't know if it was mentioned, but when they ran into Pointage on the way out, I don't think it mentioned that his friend that he was going to go see was a wizard hunter, but we're going to retcon that slightly. We'll retcon that right now. Here we go. Pointage kind of looks at Goldbone and says, Perhaps I should go find her. She was heading to Godsrain. Well, perhaps I'll go track her down and see what was going on. Yes, I'm going to go find my friend, the wizard hunter. I feel like I'm starting to see the light. Okay, so we're going to make that all work. And they know that Pointage was heading towards Godsrain. So that is what they're going to do. They're going to head towards Godsrain, try to track down Pointage, try to find his wizard hunter friend. They don't know the fate. We all know what happened to Magnaza, but they don't know. We're going to stop the scene there. I'm going to call this time to reflect. I feel like they've done this, they did this quest in the past. So I'm going to give them time to reflect on their adventures, which means they have a chance to, what do they call it in this game? Get better. So let's roll for Dragogg. Improve your mathemology? No. Improve your astrology? No. They're already pretty high. All right. We'll improve your climb. Yes. All right. So Goldbone's climb improves. All right. So now we're going to head back to Troika. But now with this new information, if Dragogg can unlock the vault, they're going to, and without any leads on these balloon beast eggs, they have no idea, right? I guess they'll keep looking and asking if anybody knows, but they're going to go do this other thing. And so we know Diaprise. I've got a little map here. And we just, this is just how I've been keeping track of where things are. We've got the main Troika. We've got Godsrain. I just happened to put to the east, and Diaprise just happens to be the north. So we're going to assume there's some sort of, I'm sort of imagining all the other places, Madwell, the other places we get are sort of more rural around Troika. So there must be some way for them to get from Diaprise to Godsrain. Some sort of, country road, farm road, path, whatever. All right, so what's happens on their way to Godsrain? 6, point of interest. What do they encounter along the way? That's sort of in between. 63, a courthouse. So what's going on at this courthouse? Got somebody digging shovels? Does this have to do with anybody that we know? Oh, Circa the Defensive Blacksmith. How funny. Okay, great. Well, that's kind of in the area, right? Okay. When Magnaza and T-Gem were on their way to Godsrain, they ran into Circa. Whatever this little area in between Godsrain and Troika is, they come down on their road and they intersect this main road, right, where the blacksmith was and the orc was, right? And there's sort of a little county courthouse. As they go by, there's a caller. They've got the bell, and they say, "Hear ye, hear ye! The trial of Circa the blacksmith is about to begin. Hear ye, hear ye!" And for no good reason other than because this is what we're doing, and our heroes will stop and they will observe this trial. Maybe it's lunchtime, maybe it's time to stop and like rest, and they're like, oh, entertainment. And it'll be interesting to follow up on a character that we saw before. They all sit down and they shuffle in, and Circa's up front, and the judge is like this like wizened, like, I don't know, frog creature. I don't know why, just for fun. The curls, and like squatting over and be like, right, Circa, you are on trial for defective shovels. Many of the citizens of this area, which is called Wandul. Many of the citizens of Wandul are unsatisfied with your shovels, and claiming that they break and are unreliable. How do you plead? My shovels are fine. I don't know if they don't like my shovels. Why don't they make their own shovels? What I don't see what the problem is. So how do you plead? Not guilty. My shovels are fine. If they don't like it, you know what? You don't need to sentence me. I'll just leave. I just have to leave. You don't like my stuff? I'm going. She like marches out. Well, that settles it then. But now we have no blacksmith. Our heroes sort of follow her because they're sort of interested in this character. And she's going to her blacksmith shop, and she's like packing everything up onto like, that would be a lot of work, but whatever. Like pack up a forge onto a cart. Maybe she's got some like magical means. She's got some sort of magical cart that can like, everything just sort of like all folds up. Maybe she's had to do this before. Maybe she's had to move on before. So she's got this mobile blacksmithery that just magically folds up onto this cart and pulled by this, poor pack animal or something. She's like, fine, they don't like my stuff? That's fine. I made a sword a little bit ago and that person didn't seem to mind. Maybe I'll just go find them where I'm appreciated. Maybe that's where I'll go. They said they were going to Godsrain, so that's where I'll go. I'll just move along. Maybe they need a blacksmith in Godsrain. Maybe they can appreciate fine blacksmithery. And our heroes overhear this and they say, or Dragogg at least says, sorry, I don't mean to interfere. I'm sorry about your plight, to your unfortunate shovel incident. We are also heading to Godsrain if you would care to accompany us. And she's like, fine, but just don't ask me to forge anything. I just can't right now. Nobody understands the work that goes into it, how difficult it is. So they don't like me. They don't appreciate me. I'm out of here. That's fine. All right. So they have a traveling companion for the road. We run back into Circa, who's been kicked out of this area, which we now know is called Wandul. And we're all headed to Godsrain, once again, the giant tree, because that's a cool thing, and there's something there that we didn't resolve. It's the frost bug. Maybe we want to go see what's happened with that. And so, maybe they have to camp at least once along the way. But anyway, next day they go and they're going to make it to the tree. So as they approach, they see the large tree rising in the distance, and the frozen over part up in the top. Which they wouldn't know this, but we know as the audience, it's become much larger. Oh, look at that. So maybe it was once like a quarter covered in frost, and now it's maybe more like a third, approaching half. Like this frost is growing and has not been dealt with, right? Because we know what happened, but the problem's getting worse, right? So they arrive at the tree, and what happens here? Come on, events. Tell me what's going on. Oh, a point of interest. Oh, weird. Okay, we didn't come across this before, so it'll be interesting to justify. But, oh, what's going on? A 22, a power plant. Does this even make sense? Well, this is sort of a weird interpretation, but let's go with it. You recall the previous time we were in Godsrain and we went into the frozen dungeon type area. There was Ogre Push. And Ogre Push was, I said, summoning something, working on bringing some sort of creature. Presumably, maybe is continuing to work. Okay. And we don't know exactly what he's doing. He said he was, creating a gift for someone. We don't have all the details about that. But maybe, now that I've rolled Power Plant, we've arrived at Godsrain. Something has changed. Something has shifted. And whatever he's been doing, whatever project plot he's got going on, has progressed, and it's almost like he's trying to turn the whole tree into like some sort of giant generation, or I want to say lightning rod, but not receptive, like generative, right? So maybe in the intervening time, as the frost continues to expand, and then the frost disease, right, which we know is debilitating the villagers, he's able to progress more and more, and there's all sorts of little gadgets and trinkets and little alchemical stations and magic devices that have been placed all around the trunk and all up. They're connected with wires, and there's weird little things in jars. This is the weirdest scientific, alchemical, magical thing. All these little different components, and it stretches all up. And there's like energy kind of coursing through, magical, eldritch crackling, and we don't know exactly what it's doing, but it's all been, Godsrain has now been transformed. They arrive. And they're like, Goldbone, this is a weird place. What's going on this? What's going on in this tree? This is weird. And Dragogg, has Dragogg ever been to Godsrain before? Yes. Oh, absolutely. With a strong one like that, he's from Godsrain. Oh, weird. Okay, cool. Cool fact. So Dragogg speaks up and says, "Yeah, well, I know I tend to play things a little close to the chest, Goldbone, but I want to confide in you. I want to open up to you. I am actually from Godsrain. I grew up there and left to pursue my mathematical studies. So yes, I'm very familiar with Godsrain, and I can tell you, our beloved tree was not covered in all of this equipment. This is very strange and not something that I like the look of." Is he able to identify what's going on? This is probably not related to mathemology or astrology explicitly, but he's kind of generally knowledgeable. Oh, we'll roll this. Can he tell what's going on? No, he doesn't recognize this. It's not the kind of thing that he's informed about. So, of course, Circa is with them too. Says, "Oh, I don't know. I don't like the look of this. It seems pretty weird. If they've made these changes, maybe they don't want a blacksmith. Does she want to keep going with them?" Yes. Okay. But they'll need some way to ascend. And she's got that cart. Well, we know there's sort of like a path that goes up. It's sort of the equivalent of a mountain road, we said. So she might be able to get her cart up there. Oh, any sign of pointage? No, but they don't see pointage specifically. But what? But what? I'm not sure. Let's ask the story cubes. we've got a shield. Oh, what if they don't see pointage, but they look, and there's sort of this weird, like, cocoon hanging? And because we know, right, Ogrepush is a insectomancer. And sort of there's this pulsating cocoon weird thing growing, hanging down on the side of the tree. Anyway, and there's something about the way that it's moving and pulsating that Goldbone is like, I think somebody's in there. All right, so she's gonna climb, and she's got her rope. Okay, great. Yeah, so she's able to get up there. She's got her rope, and she climbs up, and she pulls out her knife, and she cuts up this weird pulsating cocoon, and it drops, and out spills Pointage, our winged, acid-mouthed dwarf, who keeps working way back into this story, sometimes by roll and now by fiat. I got the message, Oracle. You want this story to be about Pointage. I'm bringing Pointage back in. Let's go. And they all recognize him. Circa. No, Circa wouldn't. No, that was, yeah. Anyway, so not Circa, but they recognize him, Dragogg and Goldbone. They say, oh my, you are the, we've run into you before. And Pointage is, covered in this goop and like getting it all off. And Goldbone says, "What happened? What's happening here?" And Pointage says, "Well, I was on track to find my friend, the wizard hunter in Godsrain. I told you about that, but Godsrain is under a terrible curse. A horrible frost bug is spreading its frozen lair over the tree, and then there's a plague, an icy plague, that is freezing the villagers, slowing them down. Almost all of the villagers are frozen over. It's been out of control, and I went to go investigate. I went to go try to see what was going on, but I ran into a wizard, and he defeated me. He was very powerful and put me in this cocoon, and I think I might have been all digested if eventually. He was very slow, consuming, but thank you for rescuing me." And Dragogg says, I don't like this. I know I left my home and I left it behind. I thought I was too big for small life, but now that I'm back, I cannot help it. We must defend my home from this wizard, and we need to find your wizard hunter friend, because we're hunting another wizard too. So many evil wizards. And Pointage says, I didn't see her. Some of the villagers who were still unfrozen said that she had headed into the lair, and so I was looking for her, but I have not seen any evidence of her. I don't know what's happened. Dragogg says, well, we're all here. We need your wizard hunter friend. I need to defend my home. Circa needs a place to set up shop. We're all here. We're all going to help. So they are going to head up. Anything happen on their way up into the village? 5. Oh, an inter-team issue. So something going on between the people. A robot. Interesting. Okay, I know what this is. I know what this is. It's a little silly, but I like it. They have to camp like halfway up the path, and Dragogg, because he's from here, he knows a path where they can avoid these salamanders, the salamander eggs, because we know that's the thing that they ran into before. So they, they can't make it all the way up, but they're making camp. And, sort of along the side of this tree, and, maybe there's a big knot on the inside, it's sort of like cave-like, and they're making their place for the night, and they're all talking. I'll get to the robot, but there's something else I want to do first. Dragogg says, so, Pointage, something that we want to ask you about. We had a very strange ghost vision. We were very far into the past, in the days of Diaprise, and we were there for the final days of the attack of the robots. Oh, there's robots there too. I had a different idea for robots. We'll get to that one too. But anyway, yeah, they're talking about the robots, right? The robot attack from Diaprise. And we saw what we thought was a younger version of you. Are you from Diaprise? Were you there during the attack and you survived somehow? And Pointed sits back. Says, that's not something that I like to think about or talk about. But hearing you mention it, I know it's unavoidable. Yes, I was there during the robot attack on Diaprise. I was very young. I had just been made. Seeing all the destruction that the robots brought, all the buildings falling down, I think it did something to me. I don't know if I've ever thought about it that way, but I think it changed me in some way. But yes, we were able to escape. The dwarves had secret tunnels that led out of the city, and even though the gates were closed, many of my people were able to escape. But there's things I didn't escape, and I am still haunted by that day and that attack. And Goldbone says, yeah, we do think something changed. When we saw you, when you were young, you were like the other dwarves. You loved to create, and you were excited about doing that. And Pointer says, all these memories are flooding back now that you say that. You're right, I don't think I was mismade. I think there was something about that attack and all that destruction that imprinted itself on me and made me want to destroy, to be like those powerful robots. Or I don't know, I just didn't understand anything different. But it's been so long. It's been 200 years that I've destroyed things. Everything I go, I seek destruction. But I feel myself changing. Something happened. That's why I wanted to find my friend, MacNaza. I saw her dance. And for once, it was something beautiful and unique, and I didn't want to destroy it. I wanted to protect it and care for it and dance with her, and it's been several weeks now. I've been trying to understand these feelings. And hearing you talk and reminding myself about this past, yes, I know I'm still capable of destruction, but perhaps it's time to seek some creation as well. Great. So that's the part I wanted to get out of the way. And this was the funny robot idea I had, unrelated to the robots at Diaprise. So Circus says, all right, well, since we're opening up, I'll let you know my secret. I'm actually a robot. And Dragogg says, oh, interesting. Well, that's unexpected. Yes, I'm very lifelike, but I want to be a blacksmith, and I'm afraid that that people might find out that I'm actually, a robot, a mechanical machine on the inside. So that's why I have to keep moving. So anyway, while we're sharing, I just thought I would share that too. Goldbone, does Goldbone have anything to share? We haven't learned a lot about Goldbone's past. we're sharing now. This is time to share. You know, Dragogg shared that he was from Godsrain, which is a fun surprise. Okay. Poor Goldbone. So Goldbone says, you know, I know I've been trained by this guild to be this assassin, but I don't want to hurt people. I don't like hurting people unless I have to. Like, I don't want to hire people to hire me to go hurt people. Like, that's not what I want to do. And so Dragogg says, well, then why would you join this guild? Why would you sign up? And Goldbone says, well, I'm an orphan. They took me in. They trained me. And that's not, I don't know. I never really liked it. And now I'm here and I'm out. Training is one thing, but actually being out of the world and having to fight, it's just, I don't know. It's just not me. I don't know what it is that I want to do, but I don't think I want to be an assassin. And Dragogg says, well, there might be fighting ahead. There might be harming ahead. Are you prepared to do that? If not, it's going to be too dangerous. You should turn back. Goldbone says, well, if it's in the service of helping people, that's one thing. But, you know, I'll do my best. But I don't think I want to be a hired assassin. So I don't know what I'm going to have to tell the guild. That's going to be... They're not going to like that. Great. Wow. All right. So, lots of revelations. Dragogg is from Godsrain. Pointage was, had this traumatic experience that shaped his destructive capabilities, but he's starting to grow out of that because of his experiences with Magnaza. Goldbone doesn't want to be an assassin. She's an orphan. And Troika is a robot. Who knows what we're going to learn next? So we're going to stop it there. Next time, we're going to head back into Godsrain. We're going to see if we can, wrap up this frostbug thing that went so poorly last time. Maybe we've got a better chance. Maybe things will play out differently. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen because obviously things just keep coming up. But you'll find out. I'll find out. Thank you so much for the kind comments. Wherever you need to find me, Discord, Reddit, it just warms my heart. So thank you so much. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe, share with a friend, tell people that you're enjoying this and what you enjoy about it. I really appreciate that. So this is Science Fantasy Awesome, and each and every one of you, you are all so awesome.